Good afternoon folks, 21st Century Caveman here. Hope everybody's safe, hope everybody's well, and welcome to another video. Now, I've made 2 or 3 videos in the past couple of years discussing my plans for early retirement, and as part of those plans I've mentioned getting a van or a minibus in order to do a campervan conversion. I also mentioned getting a quad bike, and the purpose of that would be to use the campervan to transport the quad bike in order that I can do coastal tours, tours around the countryside, that sort of thing, around the UK initially. So my previous video then, I showed you I unveiled the quad bike, and I must say that I've been carefully riding it now just to sort of accustomise myself to it, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm so glad I've got the quad bike. Now, the environment I'm shooting this video is one you won't have seen before. Let me just pan round. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do, look, let's do a little vid of the inside first, shall we? And then I can show you outside. Okay, bear with me. So first of all then, we can see that it's a Ford. And I'll tell you something, I've only been driving this for about half an hour and it's so easy to drive, it's untrue. So it's a Ford, it's a big minibus, therefore it must be a transit. So it's a 2.2 litre diesel, and I must say it's in absolutely lovely condition. Whoops. So this is a 17-seater then. It's a very low mileage vehicle. It's only done 28,000 miles, one previous owner. So I feel very fortunate to have this vehicle. It's in lovely condition. In fact, there are only two things really which detract from the lovely condition I've just referred to, and one is a little bit of damage just down here, look. And the other thing was the diesel filler cap, the flap that goes over it basically. I just need to do a little tiny bit of work on that just to make sure it stays closed. At the moment, just using a bit of duct tape. But anyway, look, this is a beautiful vehicle. And I'm absolutely delighted to have it. Right, so I'll just take you outside then. We'll have a look from the outside and then we'll come back in, take a seat, get comfy, and I'll tell you why I opted for this particular vehicle. Bear with me. So as we can see then, this minibus is in lovely condition, one previous owner. In fact, it was actually owned by the Air Training Corps, the ATC in Birmingham. So thank you for looking after it for me. So the windows then, there's a little bit of a tint to them. It's got a tow hitch, which is absolutely spot on for me because, as I mentioned previously, I do want to have a trailer on here and to tow my quad bike. So this vehicle then, it's a Ford Transit. It's a jumbo size, so it has an extra long wheelbase and an extra high roof. Now, I'm 6'4" tall and I can stand up, and I've got a couple of inches before my head hits the ceiling. So this is absolutely spot on for me. Lovely condition. Now, the thing about these vehicles is the fact that, you know, the prices have gone through the roof since COVID, since everybody started, you know, talking about doing campervans, you know, conversions and all the rest of it. So this vehicle, if I'd bought it 4 years ago, I would have got it for half the price I paid this time round. But it's one of those things whereby if you want something, then you know you've got to pay the piper, haven't you? So as you can see, lovely vehicle, low mileage, one owner, and I feel very fortunate to have this vehicle. So I will be doing a conversion of this. I've got a few ideas as to how I'm going to lay things out, what I'm going to do. Now I do want to get some use from it this summer, so you know, I think what I'm going to do initially, just take a few seats out, just so there's a bit of extra space, bit of leg room in the back there, just so I'll get some use from it. And then a bit further down the line I'll do a proper sort of conversion of it. I mean, I have certain DIY skills which you've seen before on the channel. You know, nothing's perfect, but I do get by, and I normally end up doing a half decent job. So I feel pretty confident that I can do something reasonable with this. It's quite nice, isn't it? As I say, I can't believe how easy this thing is to drive. So easy it really is. Obviously one of the major issues is going to be trying to judge the size of the thing when I'm reversing, parking, that sort of thing. But that'll come. So let's go back in, shall we? Oh yeah, the other thing which I mentioned about the only other issue apart from that damaged bit the other side of this door was this here, look. This cap, it doesn't sort of stay closed properly until you shut the door. So what I've done, I've just put a bit of gaffer tape on there, and I'm going to have a little think about the best way to deal with that. But anyway, that's something which ain't going to be a problem to sort. I mean, look, this vehicle's in lovely condition, as I say. Just do a quick shot from here actually. Thought I'd better just make a note of all of the external dimensions, you know, just in case I need to go somewhere tight and don't want to crash it or smash it before I even get, you know, before I've even started using it. So the upholstery then is also in lovely condition. Yeah, you know, there are the odd sort of minor stains, that sort of thing, but nothing horrendous. So let's take a seat then, have a chat, and let you know why I decided to buy this vehicle. So the reason why I went for the bigger version is because I'm a big guy, basically. I'm 6'4", weigh 18 stone, so I need something with a little bit of space. So as I say, 6'4", now I can stand up in this vehicle, and I've got about 1.5 to 2 inches above me. So that's good. I don't want to be stooping. There's nothing worse than, you know, having a vehicle like this and then having to stoop and feeling comfortable, because after the initial excitement wears off, you know, I'm going to start getting really cheesed off of there, and I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to have buyer's remorse. The extra long wheelbase, well, that's because, again, I'm a big guy. I want to be able to have a decent sized bed in here, and I want to be able to fit in a few home comforts, basically. So they were the main reason. This particular vehicle, as I say, it's only had one previous owner, and it's a low mileage. I didn't want to buy a vehicle which has gone halfway around the world, and I'm always worried about the thing breaking down. So I'd rather pay a premium and get a low mileage vehicle. Now, why did I go for a minibus rather than a van? The thing about the minibus is the fact that it's nice and airy inside, okay? There's lots of light in here. Now, I will be putting up some privacy blinds up on the windows there, and I'll be doing videos for everything I do, every modification I do. But I liked the idea that it was airy inside and you could see out. I didn't want to be sort of in a closeted, dark environment. Now obviously most people who do campervan conversions, if they buy a van as the base model to start with, then they'll cut windows, and I couldn't see the point in cutting windows into something if I could buy something where it's already done. The downside really to buying a minibus is the fact that because you've got so many windows, it's harder to insulate. Now that isn't a massive problem for me because, you know, I'm a fair weather camper, as you've probably gathered, and I'm not going to be taking this thing out in the middle of winter, so I'm not too bothered about that. I can insulate it to a certain degree, and it would be better than nothing, but I'm not going to be sort of like sleeping out in the deep midwinter snow or anything like that. I don't like the cold, so this is going to be mainly a spring and summer, possibly autumn vehicle. The other thing is, of course, the fact that if you have a van as opposed to a minibus, there are more fixing points, okay? And also a van is arguably more discreet, but I'm not too bothered about that. As I say, I'm going to black out these windows at the back here. I'll have a privacy screen up, or a blackout curtain, whatever, and you know, I'll be doing stuff camping in here as well. So I think initially what I'm going to do then, just to kick off with, is to remove some of these seats just to free up some space and some leg room, and just have something like perhaps a portable table or something like that, which I can bang in the back there, something to eat my food off, and also somewhere to put a bed so I can have a nice kip at night time. So initially, as I say then, I'm not going to start ripping the thing apart. I'm not going to start stripping it down, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to leave it pretty much as it is, apart from taking out a few seats and some very, very basic modifications in order that I've got some creature comforts. Those being, I've got somewhere to sit down, I've got somewhere to lie down, somewhere to eat my food and drink, and somewhere to chill and relax and make some videos. So anyway, look, I don't want this video to go on too much. We're on about 15 minutes as it is at the minute. Thank you very much indeed once again for dropping by, and there'll be many more videos of many more adventures to come. All right, thanks ever so much then. Take care. Bye bye.